What's up, everybody? Welcome to the couch.
Welcome. So, yeah, as Frey said, we're back with another edition of the CryptoComics Couch, where we break down the comic book landscape tonight, DC landscape, and let you into our
You
world.
starting to read that off a script?
No.
Bruh.
What?
All right, so you guys might notice we don't have Ashley Massacre. We don't have Brodo on the stream tonight. They're actually out ill, which is why M. Scott Russell is posing as a doctor this evening, which I'm pretty sure is illegal.
Only if I try to do surgery on you.
I don't know. I think it's still wrong. He's not a doctor. He just plays one on a podcast. Let's check in with chat real quick here. Rose Kirby coming in saying, time to watch CryptoComics Couch. What's up, Rose? I love you. Woo! We got Andrew Dodge coming in saying, happy Monday. Hope you're all having a great day and night. I am. Matt won't be.
What?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is a special edition of the couch. Matt's always wanting to talk about DC. Constantly. DC. With the release of Snyder Cut, I figure, why not give him a show? Why not? Let's see what happens. So be prepared for that. Hopefully you're strapped in, wearing comfy pants with pockets.
Wait, we're supposed to wear pants?
I'm not. I'm wearing a tactical kilt.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They got pockets.
Awesome.
I got pockets everywhere. My kids are so embarrassed. It's amazing.
Well, when you wear it to Walmart, yeah.
Well, and if you wear it, how do we say this? In respect to the free world, and then do the Captain Morgan stance everywhere you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's great.
Oh.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Cryptic T2 comes in on Twitch to say hello. What's up, Tom? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Slowbridge comes in on YouTube to say good evening, all, and hello, Rose. Jesse Hansen says, can't stick around, but wanted to pop in and show some love. What's up, Jesse? Thanks, man.
What's up? Much love to you.
Cryptic says, did you guys plan outfits? No, I'm wearing my Dolly Parton shirt because Tidal Wave did their official release, and they're #1 on Amazon right now.
Nice.
With the Dolly Parton book, which is pretty rad. Plus, I wanted an excuse to wear my Dolly Parton shirt with a tactical kilt. Zero regrets. This is what an art degree gets you, ladies and gentlemen.
A kilt?
You too can have amazing fashion sense. Cryptic might be talking about our hats, though. Matt actually had this hat made for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's fancy.
I should have put the DC logo on it just to piss you off.
No, hell no. I'd probably get sued by Warner Brothers for that. Nobody's Illusion comes in on Twitch saying hello. Also, laugh my ass off and wonder if your couch will be under 4 hours. Yes.
God, I hope.
We've done some long streams.
Oh, yeah.
Doing those.
Yeah.
And nobody comes back and say, oh, no, wow, poor Ashley and Brodo. I hope they get well soon. They're playing video games right now. They forget that we can see their activity on Discord. So I have a feeling they're not that sick.
Yeah.
I think that what actually happened is I think that they just didn't have an opportunity to watch Justice League yet.
Oh.
And they didn't want to come onto the show and be obvious about not having a chance to watch Justice League. I say this because Brodo still hasn't watched Goonies.
Oh, boy.
Going out on a limb with the assumption that he would watch something 4 hours long by Snyder, I think is a small chance.
Let me ask you, how many times did you watch it?
3.
Really?
Yeah. I watched it once the day before it was released.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it on release day with Landon, and then I watched it once again over the weekend.
Oh.
It's pretty... I mean, we'll get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got Leslie on Facebook saying, hey, everyone, what's up, Leslie? GF Ender does says Jared won't be on the stream also. Jared is actually out of town this week. He's partying it up with his family. I think they're in like, where are they right now? Dakota or something like that? I don't know. Like probably some kind of like family friendly bat cave or something. I mean, you know what I mean? They put up a thing where they're like, oh, we're at the reptile museum. And I'm like, bro, you said this was a work trip. Like, I want to go. He just tells me he's got a lot of meetings that I don't go on these trips. And then
yeah. You know, he's told me before, he's like, dude, I don't get to go on vacation ever. It's been years since I've been on vacation. And I'm like, yeah, you know, we're friends on Facebook, right? I see what you're posting.
Picture. All right. Crypto comes to say, I thought the Snyder Cut was badass. They saved it. We're going to be talking about that tonight.
Yep.
Amy Fraser says, howdy, y'all. I'm going to be listening while melting crayons. Weird hobby.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're making a painting at the same time. House Lord John YouTube says, now Frey knows why pockets are the best. I have learned. Yes.
So,
but
it's a tactical kilt, right? It's got all the pockets and everything like that.
Yes.
So, is that a purse skirt?
Yes.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I'm only making fun because I'm kind of jealous.
Hey, I get it. It's probably my childbearing hips.
Yeah.
I fill it out really well.
See, I just know I'm going to, put it on someday. I'll step outside, a big gust of wind. All the neighbors will be like, hi. Oh, okay.
Hey, that happened earlier. I forget that my truck is a little bit taller than most, you know what I mean? So I'm climbing up in the Expedition. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Gonna remember to hold those sides down. You know what I'm saying? Had a little Marilyn Monroe moment. Poor lady outside the grocery store never knew what was coming. Leslie says, I thought pants were optional. Always. CryptoComics Joe says, DC. Honestly, I love DC. Always have. I think DC's got like a place in everyone's heart.
Yeah.
Just they're letting us down. You know what I mean?
Not this week. Woo-hoo.
I don't know. Rose Kirby says, yes, DC. You promised 2 weeks ago. Cryptic comes in, black shirts, black hats, Cadillacs, yeah. The boys at time bomb. I love Operation Ivy. If y'all didn't know those lyrics for Operation Ivy, or based off of lyrics for Operation Ivy, then get on Spotify. One of the best bands you've never heard of. GF Ender Dodge says, no spoilers on Justice League. Oh, there's going to be spoilers.
Okay,
the movie came out like 3 years ago. All we got is an extended cut. There's going to be spoilers.
No, it was much more than an extended cut.
There's going to be spoilers.
I got to say, before the show, Frey and I were talking, and I was like, yeah, I got like all these pages of notes and stuff in order to do a good non-spoiler review. And he was like...
And he left me a giant note that says, no spoiler reviews. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about spoilers tonight. I will give a warning, though, to let everyone know. Don't worry, I won't ruin it for you. Batman dies at the end. I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Actually, we'll get into all of that stuff a little bit later.
Yeah, Rose Kirby says, I didn't get a chance to see it 3 times, and it's not allowing me to watch it. VPN, bros. VPN. Jenny says, they went to Mount Rushmore and stuff. That's right. Mount Rushmore, Reptile Park, possibly even Devil's Towers. I have no idea where they're at. They're just running at this point. Jared's living his best gypsy life.
Yeah.
Nobody's Loser says, hey, I haven't seen the Snyder Cut either. I know, but I was catching up on the DC shows and dealing with personal issues. Hey, I get it. I mean, the thing is that none of it is new. You know what I mean? None of it is
there was a lot of new in there.
Oh crap moment. I mean, it's nothing new to people that know. Moments. It's nothing new to people that know what Justice League is. It just makes a hell of a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I think. You know what I mean? You can talk about the movie and it's not really a spoiler. But we'll get into that more here in a little bit.
I feel
Cryptic
like
says free
half
call
our
in.
show is going to
Yes,
be
sir.
like, yeah.
Cryptical says, "Oh, you got it. Of course I got it. Of course I got Operation Ivy. Man, white kid that grew up in the suburbs turned into a fat kid. Of course I know Operation Ivy. I'm wearing a technical kilt.
Ooh,
I mean,
Chad is going crazy tonight.
Operation Ivy is the song of my people, right?" All right, let's see here. Oh, I saw the original Justice League, but I've yet to see the new one. If you saw the original one, then you know kind of the precedence of everything. So there really aren't spoilers. This is just far better put together, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. No Snyder cut, just Snyder pretzels over here. Delicious. Rose Kirby says, "Don't you mean 4 years ago? It was 2017, the theatrical cut or bad cut." Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, so it is. Cryptic says, "Just new as in more, so things actually made sense." Very accurate. Fuzzbutt Yellow says, "How do you guys feel about Vivid Publishing having a white supremacist Nazi as their marketer?" We don't. I mean, that's just like weird stuff that's going on the internet, man. We don't concern ourselves with it, to be honest with you. But, some people will choose to spend their time doing that. So, have fun, I guess. Nobody's Loser says, "Oh, really? If you saw the original, is it worth seeing? Yeah or nay?"
Yes.
Or yay or nay,
yes.
especially since 4 hours is a long movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it is worth every minute of it.
Cryptic T3 says, "Good point. What if you never saw the theatrical JLA?"
Then you should be happy.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Watch this one, and you're good.
Mm-hmm. Cryptic comes to say, "Eek!" I had to bring up the troll comments. More fun this way. All right, so let's get into all the news to talk about. So trivia, we didn't do trivia last week. Lindsay was off. We will be doing trivia this week. We can go ahead and actually launch that right now while we're talking about it.
Oh, nice.
Give me just a moment.
Oh, really? You're killing me. You're killing
What?
me. Does the Snyder Cut still involve DC Comics character? If so, yes. Yes, it does. And it is epic.
And it is so epic.
I've actually heard this described so many times as like the Lord of the Rings version of a comic book movie. And I was like, yeah, I can see it.
Let's see here. The trivia thing doesn't seem to be defaulting over for me on the pages.
Uh-oh.
So we might have to wait until after the show for the trivia to go live, guys. But keep an eye on that on your dashboard on CryptoComics, and you should be seeing that soon. Let's see here. So carrying on, what else do we have in the news?
Let's see.
Upcoming videos.
Oh, yes.
What? You just got like really quiet there.
Oh, sorry. I was just
what are you doing?
Looking at different screens, trying to see what's going on. My bad.
Trying to see what's going on. Are you lost?
I am so lost. I'm so tired. I've watched the Justice League so many times.
Scott Russell, please report to the front of the store. We have a lost mommy. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah,
so next week. So this week we don't have any spotlights scheduled. Next week we do have a spotlight with Darren Davis and Andrew Shade from Naked and Afraid. I hear it's a really popular show. Should be cool. Should be cool. Nobody's Loser says, "Yeah, what about trivia? I never received the badge for the last one." I will make a note of that real quick right now. Jump in and get that taken care of as soon as we're off the stream. You should have had that. I will make sure. Let's see. Cryptic says, "I feel like they saved it to the point that it makes sense now to make standalones for each of them. We know them all way better than the original cut, especially Cyborg. They barely really built up his character in the first place, but that's one. Holy shit." Let's see. J. Smith DeJarda says, here's some trivia. What's 4 hours long, still terrible, and won't be viewed by this guy. Psst, it's JLA.
All right, so we need to block somebody. Let's see, how do I do that?
And then he comes back to say, just kidding him, Scott. I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah, actually, it was really good. It was very good, very well written. Yeah. So, but we have other DC news before we get to all of the Justice League stuff to include, I'm actually surprised that Warner Brothers hasn't, because it did so well, like they haven't announced that they're doing a Justice League 2.
Well, they're not going to. We know that.
There could be a possibility. We'll get into that a little later. I feel like half the show is us going to be like, we'll get into it. Let's
just get into it now. Why not?
Because we have so much other stuff. We got Frank Miller and Rorschach teaming up. We got Suicide Squad and Superboy and all this continuity issues.
We've got Warner Brothers putting out an official statement 4 hours ago saying that they will not be doing an air cut of Suicide Squad and that they will not be restoring the Snyderverse and that they will not be following up with the Snyderverse officially. So everything the fans want, Warner Brothers basically just shut down today.
Well, you also have Zack Snyder who said like, hey, I need a break from everything. I would love to revisit it someday, but as of right now, here are the original plans that we had for the whole 5-movie arc, and it was good.
Where did you see that though? Because everything that I'm seeing is reporting that their interviews with Snyder is just saying that he's actually got absolutely no confirmation that anything will be made at all.
Oh no, he's not confirming that anything is being made. He's saying as of right now, like, I need to take a break from everything in general. The whole Snyder cut was a big undertaking for him. He wants to relax and, have a beer. But he's someday would like to go see what was, fulfill his vision. But he did actually release all the, here are the plans for all the Justice League 2 and 2B.
So I would love if they did it. I would. Oh, yeah. And you never know, man. The power of the internet's pretty significant. That's what got us this cut of the movie, really.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what's happening is that the powers that be that kind of clipped the wings, so to speak, of the film originally are now trying to step in and save face. Being like you've got Ann Sarnoff, who is the CEO of Warner Brothers, who publicly came out and said the following quote: "We're very happy we've done this, but we're very excited about the plans that we have for the multi-dimensional DC characters that are being developed right now." And then went on to say there are no further plans for any of the characters from the Snyderverse. So they want absolutely nothing to do with it, which is insane to me.
Yeah,
like when your fans are legitimately foaming at the mouth, being excited about having, like, let's be realistic, guys. Marvel fans have had great movies for quite a while. You know what I mean? It's become kind of a standard, and DC has always had an amazing mixture of characters. And aside from the Dark Knight trilogy, really nothing came too close to hitting it just right. You know what I mean? And you had somebody like Zack Snyder who understood the characters, who understood the concepts behind the storylines, who utilized those things, made it so that the DC multiverse actually made sense, which is kind of impossible. Showed that the Flash is actually a much larger character than he was portrayed previously.
I really liked what they did with the Flash.
Yeah,
he's still not as good as Grant Gustin's Flash, but it was redeemable.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, dude, is that like you've got people, and I hate like calling out names and stuff like this, but like Ann Sarnoff, again, she's the CEO of
Mm-hmm.
of Warner Media Studios, which is who is overhead of producing and putting together all of these DC movies. And she's stepping in now and saying, "Oh no, this isn't what we want to make." Well, I mean, it's clear that's what the fans want. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But instead, you know what I mean? We're gonna get more 1984. We're gonna get more like great storylines that are just tied into WB shows, on television.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get, you know, budgets that are dramatically smaller than what should have been there for the creators to make these movies. We're gonna get characters that people don't really care about. The 64 different universe storylines because they're trying to sell all those different comics. I mean, rather than just listening to the fans, which are
Wait a minute.
ultimately who spends the money
Sell
on
all
this.
the different comics? What comics?
Exactly.
There's like what, 10 comics right now? Come on.
Well, and on top of that, so that's another news story we've got. We've got Free Comic Book Days coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You just came out with Snyder Cut. This right now is when they should have hit Free Comic Book Day with a new Flash book, with a new Cyborg book,
Oh,
with a
yeah.
new Batman book. You know what I mean? They should have come out with a Dark Justice League again.
But here's the problem. Kind of the reason that they can't, they're no longer going with Diamond. Diamond just put a copyright on that.
Diamond put a copyright on the term Free Comic Book Day in their stamp.
And they're
Now,
not promoting it. There's nothing to do. Well, DC did say that, hey, we're going to actually take part in Free Comic Book Day on this date, and it was the wrong date. And everybody's like, so what?
Right.
What?
I mean, they're not. It's come to a point to where you realize that the people that are pulling the strings behind it, they're not fans.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I know that they try to play it off as they are. And don't get me wrong, you got people like Jim Lee, stuff like that, who definitely are.
Oh, yeah.
But they're unfortunately being pushed forward, and I feel like what Warner Brothers is trying to do right now is they're trying to make a martyr out of Jim Lee. They're trying to say Stan Lee has passed away. Let's hurry up and fill that void. Let's push Jim Lee out there. You know what I mean? Without giving him any creative influence over the books, over the decision-making process, over what really matters.
Well, I mean, look at what DC is currently doing with the NFTs. Did you hear about that?
Yep. Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, I can understand where they're coming from, saying like, okay, look, you as an artist can't make a NFT out of Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman after that guy made like $2 million off of Wonder Woman, his art from Wonder Woman. But then they turned around and said, not only can you not do that, nobody will, not even us. So
yeah, it's
they could have actually, I don't know, saved the company by starting to do NFTs. Just take their old covers and be like, here you go.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, they're pushing for this idea that like, they're gonna make a Blue Beetle movie. They're gonna make yeah.
See, I hadn't heard the Blue Beetle movie, but
yeah,
I would actually like to see a Blue Beetle Booster Gold movie. The Ted Kord Blue Beetle.
It could be cool, but I don't trust that they're gonna do it right.
I don't trust that they're gonna do it at all, honestly.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the like rumor mill reports are saying that Zack Snyder is in talks of doing a contract with Marvel now to do Punisher, which would be insane because we've been hearing for a long time that Marvel's been really trying to push this idea of doing an actual, in reference to comics, an actual hard R
I don't
you
know
know,
if they'll be able to do
Punisher
that
movie.
with all the controversy with Punisher surrounding the White House and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really been seen in the comics until just recently when he came back in the Heroes Reborn, the new Heroes Reborn series. But they actually changed his the costume a little bit, so it wasn't an actual skull. Now it's body armor that's
I
shaped
think
kind of
they're
like
going
a
to do
skull.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
No,
I
no.
think so.
I'm
That's what I
begging
think
you,
is going to happen.
please do not make this happen.
Oh,
Just give me a
please
good,
do.
just give me a good
Bro, come
bloody,
on. Come on. The
bloody Punisher.
Punisher / Ghost Rider with baby Thanos chained to his chest. Riding that Harley through space. Come on, dude. Yes.
Please no. Please
Oh,
no.
and I hope they make it as cheesy as possible. J. Smith did your chat says if Bernthal comes back, I'm on board. He's
Me too.
actually already signed contract. He has already signed a contract for 3 movies. However, it's up to Marvel when to use it. I mean, that's what Marvel does. You know what I mean? They don't mess around with it. You want to play a character, you're signing a very long-winded contract. But that was a part of his original contract when he did the Netflix show.
Okay.
And so, I mean, basically Marvel just has the rights to option him, and he has to accept it or pay them a ton of money.
Well, yeah, that's what happened with what is her name? Jane Foster. Why can't I think of her name?
Jane Foster?
Yeah, well, what is Natalie Portman?
Oh, the actress. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So she signed the contract, and there was a whole big issue with Patty Jenkins being the director of, I believe, Thor 2. And she essentially got fired. So Natalie Portman's like, I'm not doing it. And Marvel's like, okay, you owe us like 10 times what you made for the first Thor movie. And she's like, all right, Thor 2 it is.
Let me lift that hammer. Yeah, they don't. I mean, everybody thinks of Marvel with this, admiration and stuff. You got to remember, they're backed by Disney now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They got that Disney money.
They got those Disney lawyers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For those of you who aren't aware, Disney legitimately owns an entire law firm that is active 24 hours a day. And that's not a mistake. They literally run in shifts 24 hours a day with attorneys and lawyers. I mean,
did you know, according to
Disney
the contract that
around.
I once signed, I am not allowed to work for Disney ever.
It can happen. Like, yeah, Disney is.
I worked for
They don't
Toys
mess
R
around.
Us, and Toys R Us at the time was owned by Disney. And because I was fired from a subsidiary, and I was fired for shooting my boss in the forehead with a Nerf dart, that, the kind like you lick and then you put in there and you shoot and it'll stick stuff. Yeah, dude, it stuck to his forehead as he's all yelling at me. They're like,
so what's the trick with that? Was it like the speed and angle? Is that what you did? You just kind of prorate the range there? I've been trying to hit Joe for years. He is so quick. He's just, you know what I mean? It's like Duck Hunt, but with a giant beard.
No, it was, oh man, me and my buddy, there was nobody. It was dead. I had opened, and it's like 6 o'clock at night, and still nobody has even walked into the store. Right. So me and him, we're all on like tricycles, like going through the store, like jousting and stuff.
I mean, who hasn't jousted in a Toys R Us?
Oh, it was great. It was so
Hashtag
fun.
RIP Toys R Us.
Yeah. But so afterwards, my boss yells at me, so I go back up to the front, and like 2 hours later, he comes up to me. He's like, "You're going to have to close because the other shift called in sick." And I was like, "The whole shift?" "Yeah." "Okay." Well, my buddy's still there, and we're talking. Next thing you know, we get into a Nerf gun war, and yeah, boss comes around the corner, pop. So it's sticking on his forehead. He starts yelling at me, and as I was just sitting there getting yelled at, kind of pop, got him again on the other side. It just stuck. So, needless to say, I was let go from that job.
To follow up what I was just saying about Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers not wanting to complete this Snyderverse or continue on to those, CNET actually just released a news article. It's like 3 hours ago, confirming it, saying that Warner Brothers' official stance is that they will not be making any more of the Snyderverse movies. Which is
so does that include like
ridiculous.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman?
Who knows? I mean,
well, they still have the Flash movie coming out.
Well, they still got all that, but it's just not Snyder.
Yeah, but it's still in the Snyderverse.
And it's not the same continuity, though. I think what they're saying is that they're going to run with their own continuity rather than anything Zack Snyder did. And if there's one thing that we've learned about DC, it's that they can always handle making their own continuity.
Speaking of which, so this first article that we're finally to the actual news, guys. So, Suicide Squad, Superboy, twist, and what's wrong with modern comics. Basically, here's the problem. So they completely retconned Superboy in order to get him to fit with the Superman family, the Superman mythos. And then a month later, a new writer comes on and completely undoes that revamp. So now it's the original Superboy in the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So continuity is not a thing that is important to these editors and publishers. They don't care. Now, yeah, granted, DC Comics, a lot of characters and a lot of continuity to sift through. But if Crisis on Infinite Earths, that actually taught us that, yeah, we can condense it into one continuity and do it right. Following that, everything is great.
They did it right, but did they do it well?
On most of the characters, question. Yes. I do believe so.
But see, even the DC fan base is still pretty split about that. If they preferred the way that it was done or not. I mean,
but then we have the new 52 that still hurts. You know, they tried, promoting this as, hey, new 52, this is a place where anybody can jump on and start reading and you won't miss a thing. And in some comics, they had all of this continuity. In other comics, they had this continuity, and none of it meshed when it was all put together. It just did not make any sense. Mm-hmm. So then they finally like, okay, we're going to fix it. And I mean, they tried it at the end of Death Metal, finally like, okay, so everything was continuity. And it's like, wait a second. So the stuff that couldn't be continuity with this stuff is now together with it. And they're like, yeah, we'll go with that. So
I don't know, man. I think that what DC and Warner Brothers needs to do right now is they need to take a step back and they need to see that for once they have something that people really, really enjoyed. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that just because I liked it. I did like it. I did like Snyder Cut. And it's been a damn long time since I've liked a DC show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just look on, I mean, I think I've seen like one person that wasn't a fan of it. Is it? You know what I mean? Everybody's got, I would have done this different. I would have done that different. Or, but especially with anybody that's into comics, I mean, almost a majority of them across the board. DC fans, indie fans, Marvel fans, even, you know what I mean? Everybody's just like, wow, this was the movie you guys should have put out. You know what I mean? This is what everybody expected that movie to be. Like, how difficult would it be for you to just keep moving forward now? Like, you did the hard part. You know what I mean? Like, take the next step. And Zack Snyder set him up for it. Martian
Oh,
Manhunter
yeah.
with, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much cool stuff.
Dude, Ryan Choi coming in.
Yeah.
Dude, there was, yeah.
Yeah, that's Adam, right? And did he play Adam in the comics?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the second Adam after Ray Palmer.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of the success that Marvel found. You know what I mean? You make small introductions, leave them in the background for a couple of movies, and let them move forward. And Zack Snyder recognized that. He recognized that, like, if you guys aren't super familiar with like what really makes a difference between DC and Marvel, it's that it's a popular saying in like the comic culture is that DC goes off of brains before muscle, and that Marvel goes muscle before brains. You know what I mean? Marvel likes to have characters that are ridiculously strong, not necessarily that smart. Look at Thor. Do you know what I mean? Even in the comics, Thor isn't incredibly brilliant. He's smart, but he's not, I mean, they basically had Tony Stark and they had original Captain America were the two smartest, intelligent level characters that they had. Other than that, they just go for funny puns and, giant muscles. DC was kind of the opposite. I mean, even Batman started as a detective comic.
Oh, yeah.
Not as Batman. You know what I mean? It just kind of morphed into that. And that's how they've always been. And a lot of people disagree with that statement because Superman, clearly, Man of Steel. But for the most part, it's right. But DC comics are planted in a darker mentality, in a darker universe.
See, they used to not be. When I first started reading DC comics, it wasn't. I mean, you had Superman, you had Wonder Woman. Look at the Flash, how he was. It wasn't dark. Green Lantern, not dark.
No, but come like early 90s, that's I think when they started. You know what I mean? DC needed to make themselves different from Marvel because there was a big comic boom in the early 90s, and that's what they did. They started going to that darker side. They had the Frank Millers, they had Jim Lee, they had, you know what I mean? And it showed.
Speaking of which, Frank Miller's going to be in a comic, right?
Yeah. You want to bring it up? Talk about it.
All right. Here we go, guys. So, will Frank Miller come to Rorschach after all? Yes. He is going to be in an upcoming issue of Rorschach. Now, I love Rorschach as a character. I wasn't a huge fan of everything like the Doomsday Clock and all that kind of stuff. But I love Rorschach, just his mentality. And when I heard Frank Miller was coming to Rorschach, I was like, he's going to write it? No, Tom King is still writing it. He's just putting Frank Miller as a character.
It's a cameo. Like Frank Miller is going to cameo in a book. How meta is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
man. The first time I read that, I went back through. I was like, how intimidating would it be to like be the artist on that book?
Oh God!
You got to draw Frank Miller, and you're like, okay, like like what? Dark Knight, like 300, and like no, not the style. You have to draw him and put him in this book. Like I would have just been like, I'm out later. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think DC will have a single comic page that is going to be more critiqued than that panel.
Probably.
That's going to be nuts. That is going to be nuts.
But, it could be kind of cool. Like I said, lately I haven't been a huge fan of Frank Miller's later work or his newer work. I love his old stuff, but his newer stuff, it's just not for me.
I haven't read much of his new stuff, to be honest with you. So I couldn't comment on that.
It's really deeply rooted in Asian culture. Of course, you could see with like his work on like Wolverine or Daredevil, where he's got the hand as like a main character. But there's also kind of a anti-Muslim feel to it. And
is there?
Oh yeah.
Damn, homie. I save right now.
Yeah, so that's why
What are you
I
doing,
was like,
bro?
ugh, I don't know. I can't get behind his new stuff.
That's too bad.
Plus, what he did to Dick Grayson in Dark Knight 3, done.
Oh yeah. Well, how could you hurt Dick?
Yeah, done. Done.
All right, let me check in with chat really quick here.
Oh, yeah,
Jay
we are
Smith
way
Jr.
behind.
says it's like DC takes continuity classes from WWE. Nobody's Illusion says, and just like that, Marvel movies win again. I'm going to be honest with you. Here's what I like about the entire thing with the Snyder Cut. This is what I like the most, is that finally it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We as a community haven't been able to have in a very long time, which is what is better, Marvel or DC in the films? Because now DC legitimately has one movie that you can put up in there and be like, yeah, this is where you rate quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, we
I'm
had
just
the
gonna
Dark
say it,
Knight
like,
trilogy, which I honestly, everybody's
the Chris Nolan movies were great. Don't get me
everybody
wrong.
always like talks about how much they love the Dark Knight. My favorite out of that trilogy was Batman Begins, honestly. Because I love actually seeing, in the comics, it was always he leaves Gotham. A couple years later, he comes back and he's the Batman. And what's he been doing? I was training. Okay.
Like Ninja School.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. It was actually cool that we got to see that progression into Batman. And I was like, finally.
The thing is now, though, is that, like, man, DC fans deserved something, guys. You know what I mean? And what I'm more excited about now is that even though Warner Brothers doesn't want to take advantage of the current popularity of Snyder Cut and what's going on with that, someone is going to. Someone is going to see that and say, "Oh crap! Like these comic nerds, they get excited. They'll spend some money. They'll watch the movies. You know what I mean? You don't have to be Marvel to get people to talk." And I'm hoping that that's going to lead to some seriously epic, like, indie comics getting picked up. Like What's Killing the Children, I think would be freaking amazing.
I agree.
On the big screen. I think, honestly, Cosmic Ghost Rider would be amazing. I don't think it could be done in the way that Marvel's been doing all of their movies. I think it would have to be like a made for Netflix type of thing or something like that.
I would actually get behind if I think it would be funny as hell, as much as I hate Cosmic Ghost Rider, if like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness like opens up a door to another dimension and they're like Ghost Rider flies by and he's like, nope.
Yes.
That would be funny as hell, man. I would love that.
I mean, I think it'd be cool to see some of these, I'm not going to say small, but like some of these larger indie, like the larger of the smaller publishers, let's word it that way. Like Image has been talking about rebooting a Spawn movie for, I mean, how long has McFarlane been putting out? Like 15 years?
Something like that. I want a Man of War movie.
Yeah, it'd be rad to see like just some new stuff, you know what I mean? Like coming out. Like what was it they were coming out with for Free Comics Day that I was like so excited about? Vampire Masquerade from Vault Comics.
Okay.
Like that book looks rad. That book looks absolutely cool. And I mean, it was already very successful. Yeah, Vampirella would be amazing. Let's see a Lady Death movie. You know what I mean? Let's see, like, some of these characters. I mean, yes, we got Hellboy, and I know everybody's gonna be, we already got Hellboy, Frey. You know, we already got the little guy. He showed up. But, I want to see, like, some Valiant comics that's better than Bloodshot. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see, like, Turok. Like, I know everybody's going to think of that as a video game, but Turok was a comic before it was a video game.
I'm just trying to figure out what that would look like.
It'd be Jason Momoa as a time-traveling friggin' dinosaur hunter. I mean, I don't know if it'd be Jason Momoa. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, I want to see less of, like, the Judge Dredd B-rate type of movies and more
Did
of
you?
the.
Well, yeah. Hold up. That last Dread was awesome with Carl Urban.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah. But I mean, there's with the popularity of like The Boys, Umbrella Academy, stuff like that. Like, I think it's time. I think it's time for people to realize that, indie's got what it takes, man. Jesse Beasley comes in on Facebook saying Mexican superhero Senor Jaguar. You know what? That is being made into a movie.
Really?
Right? Isn't it John Leguizamo? I think so. But he's toting it as a Latino superhero now, officially. And last I saw, he was actually looking at a possibility of crowdfunding it.
Oh, wow.
Which, with him taking the lead, which I thought was kind of nuts, because he's a pretty big actor. You know what I mean?
Dude, I gotta say, if they redo Spawn, he's got to come back as the clown.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if he would. Dominic Colby comes in to ask, who's Rorschach? Go and read Watchmen. Or if you don't have time to read it, the movie of Watchmen actually did a pretty decent job with it. But
with his
go check
character?
it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great character from comics. Let's see. Rose Kirby says, what about the 70s, 80s, and 90s? I was fascinated by the comics of some of the TV series. Hell yeah. Like Flash Gordon. Like y'all rebooting everything and nobody's talking to my boy Flash Gordon.
I thought I heard something about them rebooting that, actually. Let me do a quick Google search. I'm not like Jared. I'm actually going to admit I'm doing a Google search.
I would love if that was actually, if there was some truth to that. I mean, I've seen like some people were talking about doing it, like, I don't know, probably a decade ago. But I know somebody's probably got the rights to it at this point.
Well, I have not had time to verify anything, but yeah.
What? That would be pretty cool. Yeah. If I can't ever pronounce his name.
Taika Waititi? Yeah, dude.
If he did it,
that would be epic.
Game over, man. I'm gonna be first person in line to see that thing if he's doing it. Nobody's Illusion comes to say, or anything on CryptoComics. There you go, chat. If there's a book on CryptoComics, an indie book that you would want to see as a movie, what would it be and why? Which book? I'm going for Temerity right off the bat without even a hesitation.
Okay.
This close second, I think, would be Dream Keepers. But I don't think Dream Keepers would work unless it was like hand-drawn animation, like old school 80s style.
Oh, that would be epic.
Animation. Let's see.
What else?
I'm just starting naming off books now off the top of my head. Oh, you know what I think could be cool? And Tom's in chat right now. So Tom, if this happened, you got to hook a guy up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a cameo.
Yes.
But The Bean as like a kid's movie, I think that'd be rad, dude. I think that would be cool.
So what would you think about the live action Morning Star?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be real good. With bullet time?
Yes.
Bro. What about a live action Tommy the Tapeworm? Right?
Fighting corn dog.
Bro, yeah. See, that's right, Hollywood, big-headed people. Come talk to us. We'll hook you up with our people. Yep. All we ask is for possible cameos and maybe some like movie posters or something. You ain't got to pay anybody.
Yeah,
you got to pay the creators. You ain't got to pay us. Carlos Ham on YouTube says, yes, DC fans have been stuck watching Marvel movies. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that it's getting lost in translation that DC fans, I mean, pardon the language here, man, but y'all fucking deserved a good movie for once. You know what I mean?
You know, us DC fans, we've been watching the Marvel movies and we're like, why can't DC just look, there's the formula right there.
She's using. Oh man, I just aged myself, didn't I? That used to be like a L'Oreal commercial on TV when I
Oh
was
wow.
like a teenager. So like, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago. Carlos says they should do a Thanos wins or the Guardians of the Galaxy where they thought Gamora was Thanos' new body. That would actually be cool. I think that would be cooler as like an Easter egg, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like, I don't know. And then also comes in to laugh at me saying Turok rocks. You know how many copies of the foil cover of Turok I still own? I got like 30 of those. At that time, when that book came out, man, I thought 100% this was going to be the number one that I'd retire with. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know why I read that first copy at Turok number 1. And I was like, this is going to be the greatest comic ever. And y'all, number 1 is awesome. Number 2, not so much. Or 3 or 4. I mean, it really went downhill on them. I mean, because Valiant took all their best people, crammed them in a room, and they were like, you're making a Turok comic. And then they literally made a video game to go along with the comic book. You know what I mean? And Valiant wasn't going to pass that up. But Valiant knew all you got to do is come out with that one book, and it's going to sell. You don't gotta get your A game on book 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of those. Carlos comes to say, Crypto, how does a creator get to do a launch party with you guys? So we look for a couple of things. We look for presentability. It doesn't hurt to send us beef jerky. And no, I'm kidding. Actually, what we do is it's limited to only creators that are using the CryptoComics Marketplace. And we try to schedule launch parties and events with really anybody that's interested in doing it. The only thing that we try to do is we try to schedule them out to where, we don't do like 3 or 4 weeks in a row of like adult content or 3 or 4 weeks in a row of children's content. Like we try to mix it up so that the community gets kind of a little taste of everything the system's got. But outside of that, that's pretty much it, Carlos. You just got to sign up for CryptoComics.com and upload a couple of your books and hit us up and let us know, what your ideas are and what your time frames are and what schedules are. I can tell you we're normally a couple months kind of booked out as far as how those all work out with different creators. But yeah, we're always more than happy to do it, man. It's just kind of something that we do with creators. And for anyone that asks, because I've been asked this like 5 times lately, we don't charge creators. I don't know why.
I've been asked that in the past. That. Like, it's been a while since anybody asked that. We've addressed it on the show. We do not charge creators to do a launch party with them or anything like that. We don't even get a cut of the proceeds from their Kickstarter or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't do anything
in any way, shape, or form for that. So,
yeah.
Why?
So just so we're clear,
because all we're trying to do is get comics out there to those people who need it.
Yeah, and it's good for everybody, man. It's good for the community. And that's what we're, most looking forward to. It's a win-win.
You know what I just thought? Top 2 would make an amazing, like, Netflix series.
Top 2
you need to do the whole series.
But Nobody's Illusion, Gun Ghoul.
Oh, yeah.
That would be rad. That actually would be pretty cool.
Hey, I'm just saying, we do have the sequel to Warlock on our...
that's true.
On CryptoComics.
That's an official sequel.
Yep.
Dominic says, I feel like I have to say Zolok Unleashed, but I'm thinking a Hellbringers movie. I think a Zolok Unleashed would be another one of those where it would be a series.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like a...
Well, they have so much stuff going on in there.
Yeah. So. You could do a movie, I guess. I just... Anytime I read Zolok Unleashed, I always think of the formatting for it would work really, really well in a video game, which I know that they're currently working on. So spoiler alert, or a series. But just because, there's so many forks in their storylines that I think trying to abridge all of that into one film, you know what I mean? You'd be pretty hard pressed, I think. to do anything really justice, because the writing in those books is actually really, really damn good. You know.
Now, what I would like to see, though, if they do a series or a movie or anything like that, right? Opening shot, right? It's space. You have like Star Trek type music playing, and then a hot dog flies by the screen.
Yes. Just random with no explanation.
Exactly.
The people that watch this show are like, yes. Andrew Dodge says, supposedly Chris Hemsworth is being eyed to play Flash Gordon as of 5 months ago. That could be cool.
That would be epic.
I feel like we'd need somebody like entirely different, though.
No, I think he could play Flash Gordon. Dude, he can make fun of himself pretty well. Like, he could do the cheese.
I'm not saying he couldn't.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he was the hologram.
Yeah, that's so great. He's like, stop. Awesome. Like the hologram telling you not to touch the hologram's ass. That was good. Oh, JD Smith JGR says, why is no one talking about Sporkman Goes to Japan? That actually would be pretty rad. That would be pretty cool. Carlos says, Turok games were amazing. I never seen the comic. You only really missed out on the first one. Like I said, man, I hate shitting on comics, honestly. But they phoned them in after that point. They were just like, here they are. Bro, it went from like a 24 to 26 page comic, I think. Like decent sized comic for that time. Beautiful stamped foil covers. Like all out. They went all out. To then book 2 was just as many pages, but like 3/4 of them were ads. Like, I mean, it was rough. The print quality went way down. Everything. They knew what they were doing. They knew that it was a bait and switch on all of us. But I mean, this was also, the same year periods with like, Death of Superman, and I mean, every publisher was trying to do marketing tactics to get us to buy more books to make us think they're going to be.
Then they had 30 some odd variant covers for every single book every single month, and as a collector, it was like, I got to buy them all, so that way I can sell them someday as a series. And come on, now they're all not even worth cover price because it's just, damn you, Marvel started that. So
Rose Kirby says, I love both movies and series, DC and Marvels. What would you think of me? That we absolutely adore you, Rose.
Oh, yeah.
I never understood, like, that whole gatekeeping mentality of, like, I'm a Marvel fan, you're a DC fan. Ooh, we're not allowed to like each other. You know what I mean? Except when it comes to Star Trek and Star Wars.
See, I like both.
Shit.
But I love Star Trek a little bit more. I'm weird that way.
Okay.
But you know what? It's okay.
Oh, jeez. Crypto says, that's because you guys are amazing people. Thank you for your support and kindness. Oh. Turn your ringer down. You're on a live stream, homie.
I did.
Come on.
I didn't realize it was on. Sorry, guys.
The guy wearing a tactical kilt is telling you that you need to have some professionalism right now. He says, know how many movies DC I've got? Just trying to know because I've only got 18. I didn't even know DC made that many unless you considered all of the Adam West Batman DVDs.
Oh, dude, with the shark repellent? Come on.
Oh, it's so good.
As long as you don't have the Catwoman movie, we're good.
Carlos says, badass and Crypto, they probably ask you to charge because you guys rock launch parties.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Actually, I think that creators assume that just because it's kind of industry standard for a bunch of people to try to take advantage of creators. And we firmly believe that that's bullshit. Yeah. We're not supposed to cuss when we talk about marketing stuff. Yeah. But that is our official stance on our marketing.
Yep.
It's bullshit to treat creators like that.
I was going to get that tattooed. It's all bullshit. But everybody's like, no.
Carlos says, like the Kiss band of launch parties. That's pretty rad. Thank you.
That is awesome. You know,
I'm running
now
with
I think
that.
the next time we do a launch party, I'm going to have to paint my face like a.
Do it. Do the cat, though.
Really?
I forget all their names, but do the cat. Nobody's Loser says, top 2 comics as an anime. That would be pretty rad. I want to say that was actually talked about during a spotlight, too. We might have to go back and check that out. Minpox says, Out of Order.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh.
That comic made me cry. Like, I ugly cried. I cried like a prepubescent teenage girl. You know what I'm saying? That just met Harry Styles for the first time, and not in the good way. Like, it was rough. You know what I mean? And like Mike one of the creators of that book, he's a homie. You know what I mean? I love Mike. I love Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't call anybody so that everybody's aware. I hate phone calls. I despise phone calls. Mm-hmm. Jared, total opposite. He'll call everybody. But I hate phone calls. And as soon as I read the end of book 5, I called Mike while still all teary and like, yeah,
really?
Like that was like, dude, it's like the most moving comic series.
So
if they made that
just
into
that
a
first
movie,
issue, I was like, all right, I'll read this one. And it was by like page 4 or 5 or something like that. That I was like,
tears your heart out.
Holy crap. It's whoo.
Oh, in the blood scene? Yeah, dude, if they made that into a movie, my emotions would be going up and down the entire time so much that by the end roll credits, like I'd just be in the little walkway, like curled into the fetal position, crying. You'd see M. Scott Russell here, like pat me on the shoulder, like there, Frey, there.
It's okay, man.
Trying to lead me out of the theater with a box of Juju fruit. You know what I mean? Oof. That one. Yeah. If you guys haven't read Out of Order, do it. And you know what? If you guys haven't read Out of Order, just look up Mike on. You can. I think it's. I don't know if this is accurate. You can probably Google this Out of Order comic. But just buy it. Just literally, I'm telling you guys, like that is one of the best.
Preview, just buy it.
That is one of the best indie comics I have ever read. Mm-hmm. And I've recommended it to, I'll bet you hundreds of people, and I've yet to find a single person with anything negative to say about it. I mean, I haven't even ran into anybody that's like, oh, this could have been better or anything like that. I mean, every person that reads that book is just blown away.
Oh, yeah.
It's autobiographical. It's a total different thing than what you're used to in comics. Mm-hmm. And it just shows like how powerful comics and graphic novels can be if you have a creator like Mike, who doesn't tether themselves to this mentality that everything has to be a superhero with a cape. You know? Oh, let's see here. J. Smith Digiartist says, at least Turok had several issues. I think Malibu Comics had a Street Fighter comic that disappeared after issue 3. No conclusion. I remember that.
Yeah, well, Street Fighter kind of jumped around, didn't it? Like, I think Marvel put out a few issues, and
Marvel only did those, what are they called? The one-shots, but they had like a special name for them, because they did Street Fighter, they did like a Mortal Kombat one even. Mm-hmm. They did, what was that? Was it Ghouls and Ghosts, I think, or Ghouls and Goblins, whatever,
something like that.
Old NES game. I know they did a handful of them.
Mm-hmm. But there was I don't remember them doing a
series.
It is there is a new one coming out on what is it? Let me find it real quick. Free Comic Book Day. I'm looking at their listing right now. Come on, I gotta find it. I just gotta scroll through about 150 different comics. Okay, so it's Udon Entertainment is Street Fighter Back to School Special #1 for Free Comic Book Day.
That's the Free Comic Book Day this year, right? That's coming out. So there you go, J.D. Smith, Digi Artist. Go get your hands on that one for sure. Speaking of which, so Free Comic Book Day, we brought this up earlier. Yeah.
There we go.
So we brought this up earlier. Diamond Publishing is who does Free Comic Book Day. I'm not sure if some people didn't realize that. They thought it was just something at their own local comic book shop. It's actually done by Diamond. Local comic shop gets a bunch of free comics they can give out to people, try to drum up some more interest for new books, things like that.
Yes.
Now, because DC has left Diamond, Diamond has put in for an industry you refer to this as an antitrust. It's where they are backtracking on something that they've used in order to get trademark historically for this aspect. This is something that's not very new in marketing and with businesses, but it is very new in comics. Reason being is that every one of them had failed in comics for a very long time until San Diego Comic-Con sued Salt Lake Comic-Con. And as soon as they won that lawsuit, now Salt Lake Comic-Con, of course, is known as FanX because of this. As soon as San Diego Comic-Con won that lawsuit, all of a sudden you see everybody trying to trademark. I mean, guys, Warner Brothers tried to trademark the words comic book. So it gets a little ridiculous. You know what I mean? Free Comic Book Day, though, I do. I know most people don't agree with that shouldn't be something that's trademarked, but Diamond has been doing the marketing for that. You know what I mean? For what, 20 years now, almost? Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
How long has it been? Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is at what point do they realize they've got something that's very valuable? And somebody like DC is already saying, yeah, we're going to do a Free Comic Book Day edition. And Diamond's going, well, wait a minute. You're not a part of Diamond anymore. You know what I mean? So, I get it.
The only thing that they could do,
Diamond is Warner Brothering DC.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, they could still essentially ship out free comics to the comic book stores on that day, but it would have to be stamped with something other than Free Comic Book Day. Maybe comic book that's free this day. You know, I don't know.
You should do hashtag Free DC Day. Like,
there you go.
Make fun of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna be watching this really close because we had plans of allowing creators inside of CryptoComics Marketplace to take advantage of Free Comic Book Day and offer free, NFT comics on the system, which we still think would be a great idea. But if this goes through, we can't use the term Free Comic Book Day to do so. So we'll likely be coming up with our own name for
afternoon.
Actually, that might work. I mean, we're still probably going to get sued, but by then, who knows if Diamond will even be around? Let's be realistic.
Like I said before, a couple of weeks ago, there were those rumors that Diamond could be buying the rights, along with some fans who happen to be rich, buying the rights to the comics themselves for DC.
Yep.
So it won't be, they wouldn't be allowed to touch any of the movies, any of the merchandise, any of the TV shows.
I'm going to be honest with you. I will laugh my ass off if DC was trying to, kick the door open and be like, we don't need you, Diamond. And less than a year later, Diamond owns the rights. Like, that's one of that's, dude, that's a full move right there. Like, that's 4D chess, as Jared would say. J. Smith Digi Artist comes and say, Frey, you would understand the rivalry more had you grow up in Compton. I don't think it would matter so much, man. I mean, I had the same comic books. Is there like a straight out of Compton version of the DC Black books or something that I just didn't ever get to see? Was there like a Guardians of the Galaxy Compton edition that I never got to read? Somebody tell me. I'm just a white kid from
Star-Lord showing up in Compton.
Look it up.
That'd be epic.
Dominic Colby comes in to say, speaking of the tactical kilt, isn't that chair you're sitting on leather? How's it feeling on your legs? Fantastic. Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you for asking. I've also got a 3090 now. Those of you who aren't like uber nerd, it's a badass video card. And I can feel the breeze from the 3090 hooking around the desk, bouncing off the floor, coming up from underneath. I am very comfortable.
Oh boy. So Frey is staying fresh. Okay. Moving on.
Andrew Dodge says there are 35 DC Comics movies. Chase Matinger says, and 27 of them are Batman. Oh, jeez. Carlos Ham comes in to say, how can you sign up for CryptoComics? Oh, should we tell him?
Yeah, let's tell him.
I don't know if we should tell him.
Tell him.
Let's do this. Who's in chat right now? Tom is in chat.
Yep.
Let's do this. You go to cryptocomics.com/u/T3comics. You're going to see a little blue button right there. They'll let you sign up using one of Tom's invite links.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being in chat and active, Tom.
Yep.
But yeah, Carlos, sign up. If you have any questions, hit us up on the communications page right there on the dashboard. Nobody's Illusion says, adds out of order to future reading. You haven't read that one yet, Illusion? Oh, homie. You're getting it.
Listen out.
I'm gonna tell you right now, hydrate first, because you will cry. Rose Kirby says, Star Trek came before Star Wars. I love them both as well, or films and TV series. Okay. Rose Kirby says, I would just like to know, back in January, I wore Chad Harden's t-shirt when it was sent. Right on. Have you watched Vampire Diaries? The ending got me in flood tears. I haven't.
You know,
my
wife actually loves that show, so I sat down to watch it with her in order to kind of hang out with her, and it wasn't too bad. Actually, I never did make it all the way to the end, although it's got like 2 spin-offs. But yeah, that was actually impressive. But no, I never did actually make it all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm. J. Smith Didjarders recommends Free Funny Book Day. Not against that one.
Dude, I haven't heard it called a funny book in so long. I love that term.
There's actually nothing wrong with that. Carlos says, thanks. Signing up tomorrow. Right on, Carlos.
All right.
Welcome to the community.
Sign up right now. What are you waiting for tomorrow? Just do it. Open it up in another screen so you can keep watching us.
Yeah. You don't want to miss out on M. Scott Russell's face in high definition. That was probably awkward. Looked like we scripted it, and it wasn't scripted.
That was awkward.
Oh, that was rough. You know what? Let's do this. I want to do a shout out here real quick, because we talked about Tom and his book. So you can no longer back this on Kickstarter, but you can look for it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be offering print copies of this book, but it is also in CryptoComics. I'm going to play the teaser trailer for Death Dwells real quick here. You know what else?
Yeah.
Hooligans from Free Fall.
Oh,
It's another one I'd want to see as a movie. Anyways, huge shout out to Tom.
yes.
Yeah. Good at Death Dwells. Badass book. Especially if you like zombies. Okay, what else we got in the news here?
Oh,
So Batman's new sidekick
yeah.
swings both ways.
Not just from rooftops. Okay. So Ghostmaker is
You didn't
Batman's.
like my joke I had prepared for this?
I wasn't ready for it.
It was a good joke.
It was.
That was great.
Okay. All right. Ghostmaker is Batman's new bisexual sidekick. So kind of a weird story for this guy. He essentially went through the same training as Batman during that time and kind of became a rival. And now he is teaming up with Batman kind of as his sidekick. But there is a few stories. Let me see. By James, I can't pronounce his last name, Tynan?
I thought, is that not right? I thought it was Tinian.
Tinian. Okay. So
Tinian?
James Tinian the Fourth, who he himself happens to be bisexual. So what he did was he actually took this character and when he created him to be bisexual, kind of taking on some of his own personal traits. Now,
Which is weird because they've had Nightwing this whole time.
Nightwing isn't bisexual. Anyway, okay. So moving on, just because he wore the green shorts, not getting into it.
Homie? Yeah, I ain't judging.
So
he looked damn good.
anyway, moving on. Okay.
I'm
you
just
know, this
saying.
was actually, would you just shut up for a minute? Let me
Dude,
finish.
he is on the cover of the DC Pride.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did you not know that? Hold on.
Moving
Am
on.
I wrong? Shoot. Now I got to see if I'm wrong. Hold on. I am pretty sure that it was him.
So, you know, I remember a while ago when they originally kind of retconned like Alan Scott to be gay, people kind of lost their minds. And it wasn't over the fact that it was a that they were turning having a character like Green Lantern being gay or anything like that. It was the fact that they retconned an old character who was established, had wife and kids, and the kids were actually important in the DC or the scope of the DC universe. So I think if you're going to introduce a drastic kind of change to a character, do it with a new character like they did with the Ghostmaker. I think it makes sense, especially with this day and age. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, so I say go for it. Just don't do it to an established character.
Why? I mean,
well, originally,
here's the way I look at it. Okay, I've got a lot of people that are very, very close to me that are part of that community.
So
you
do
know
I.
what I mean?
So do I.
And I don't know a single one of them that started out their experience knowing where they were going to end. You know what I mean? So to me, and for anyone that doesn't know, I'm just gonna word it this way because I don't really like talking about my kids on live streams, but I am what's referred to as a dragon dad, which means that one of my children identifies as gay and LGBTQ plus community. And the way I look at it is I like the idea that a character, any character, can make that decision in real time, because that's more akin and along the lines of how that works for most people. You know
Yes,
what I
but
mean?
that's not what DC Comics was originally doing. They were backtracking and retconning all those established stories. For example, with Alan Scott, the original Harley Quinn was actually one of his biggest villains, and it was his wife. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so there was that dynamic there that um, they completely got rid of. And by getting rid of that particular wife, you got rid of Jade and Obsidian.
That's a fair point. Yeah, but that
So that's all I'm saying is look,
but that's also
because of
banking off
decisions
of
that were made.
continuity that DC just doesn't have anyways.
I know that's what I want, the
So
continuity. That's all I want in comics. Just give me
yeah.
continuity.
So let me do this here. Let's see. Yeah, GF Andrew Dallas says CryptoComics. Check your whispers on Twitch. I sent you a link where Nightwing is on the Pride cover. Yeah. So let me do this. I actually have these all prepared. Because it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay.
They're doing an entire run of Pride covers. So let's see here. First of
That was a
all,
good issue.
yeah, we've got. Well, all these are brand new. These are all brand new covers too.
Wait, oh no, that's not the. I was thinking of the one where they finally gave Harley Quinn and
Like where they
Poison
established
Ivy
the
that end.
relationship.
That
Mhm.
was yeah.
Yeah, so what they're doing is for Pride Month, DC is coming out with limited edition covers.
Mhm.
Most of these are settings that are already well known or already recognized. So for example, you've got Superman, with the gay pride flag, which I thought was pretty cool, very tasteful. I think,
Mhm.
I don't see anything at all wrong there. You got Nightwing, which is as flamboyant as it gets, y'all. Let's be realistic. What I think is cool here, though, is okay. Here's where the artist side is going to come out. Look at how flippin' accurate his feet are. Like, say what you will, but you know how hard that would be to get those feet just perfect like that from an artistic standpoint. Rob Liefeld, hook it up with DC, man. Take some lessons or something, homie. Those are good feet, dude.
Oh yeah.
In that perspective and everything, that was the first thing I locked onto. I was like, damn, those some good feet. And I ain't like a feet guy, y'all. Don't take me
Those are
wrong.
good feet.
This is the hardest thing to
For
draw.
me, I think drawing hands is harder than feet.
I never had a problem with hands, ever.
Really?
But, but feet, which is why I always make the Rob Liefeld jokes, just so that everybody's aware. I can't draw feet for shit. So I have to. But yeah, feet. And then the other thing is firearms. Because I know so much about firearms and grew up around firearms, and I notice little things that most people would just pass off and not give a crap about, like
Mhm.
if a sight doesn't look right, or you know what I mean, the way a magazine properly loads and things like that, where the safety switch is, and I'm
America.
just like, yeah, I'm
We
just like,
know
this
our
isn't
firearms.
right. And so
Yeah.
if I'm drawing it, I'll spend like days on a damn rifle and like 6 or 7 minutes on a face. Like it's ridiculous.
See, I end up drawing like the rifles to look more like the space, that way like it's easier. Plus, hey, child of the 90s, right? So
Speaking of which, this is my favorite of the DC Pride covers. They put Crush and Lobo together, and Crush has the full out 80s light up shoes, like the
yeah.
warm up pant, like the jumper pants and stuff. That's rad. Like Lobo's got the pink on. It's cool. And then of course we've got the Wonder Girl cover. This was the first one that they showed.
So
The first
speaking
variant.
of the Wonder Woman, there was an issue where Superman and Wonder Woman were actually at a wedding, and they were she's talking about I think they were at a gay wedding, and Superman almost seemed like he was a little uncomfortable in the comic. Like just reading it, he seemed uncomfortable. And
Wouldn't
Wonder
you be
Woman
if you were in a DC comic? Drops
oh,
Mike. Oh.
No, Wonder Woman made a comment.
Sorry.
She was like, "Yeah, we have weddings on Themyscira," and Superman's like, "But it's a gay wedding," and she's like, "That was just a wedding in Themyscira. Everybody's a girl," and I was like, "I never thought about it that way."
You're like, wait a minute. I mean, plus they live to be thousands of years old.
Yeah.
So,
and they don't really reproduce, so a divorce there would be awkward.
Well, I mean, what would you do? Do you have to like take the children from the relationship and give them back to Zeus to put back into the ground?
There was only one child.
But no, there was more than there was. Oh no, there we go. Continuity again. There was. I remember there's a Wonder Woman run where they said that the princess wasn't the only one.
Well, originally Wonder Girl was Diana Troy was written as a sister to Wonder Woman, so they can grow up together, and she would have a playmate essentially.
Okay, so maybe I'm just mistaken then, because I thought I remembered reading something about like a whole other character. I thought like a later, like something newer, recent,
Nubia,
like decade.
Nubia was written as another like Wonder Woman, but she was sent to live with Ares.
But Nubia was a god sent to Earth, right?
Yeah, but just as Wonder Woman
so was. Long since I read that book.
This is at the same time when Wonder Woman, at this point, was Goddess of Truth. Then you had during the New 52, they redid it so the Amazons would like go find sailors and rape all them, and then kill, or they would all get impregnated and kill the whole crew. So everybody, nobody would know what's going on.
Wonder Woman, a sign for justice.
Yeah, the boys were sent to like this prison world kind of thing, and then the girls were raised on Amazon or in Paradise Island. So, but then they kind of revamped that to go back to what you saw in the movies where Wonder Woman was the only girl.
So is that the continuity now? See, that's what I don't like about DC, man. Like DC has, I'm going to just say it, like some of the best villains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't even say that now because it's easy to have the best villains when you can just make like 15 variants of one villain and be like, all the Jokers are canon. Because it's like, well, what the hell, man? What the hell?
Yeah.
So let's see here. Jeff Ender Dodge says, yes, all the covers are super tasteful. I thought so too. I really do enjoy them. Rose Kirby says, can you tell me what's going to happen on Friday? Nothing. We will not have a stream coming up this Friday. Yeah. So no spotlight is scheduled. Consider it kind of our week off as far as the streams go. Reason being is we've actually got a lot of stuff on the system that we're currently working on and highly engaged with. And we've got a lot of things in the tubes, in the works, as far as some new creators, some new publishers, stuff like that goes. And so we're taking some time to make sure that we're adequately focusing on those things to make sure that everything's on the up and up.
And I got to get caught up on some blog posts and stuff like that.
I got to read more comics.
Yeah.
It's a rough life, y'all. It's a rough life. I know. So, dude, somebody the other day was like, wait a minute, you get paid to read comic books? And I was like, yeah.
I just look at him and I'm like, hey, look, somebody has to do it, guys.
No, I can't remember who. I think it was Baron, but it was like who makes the creatives and stuff. And I was like, well, we all do. We'll kind of chip in. We feel that it's working best for us that way. It's like so where do you get the ideas and stuff? I was like, well, read the comics. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, so you get paid to read comics, and I was like when he words it that way, it makes me feel kind of guilty. You know what I mean? But at the same time,
it doesn't make me feel guilty at all, because I remember when I was a kid, my dad looking at me, he's like, there's no perfect job. There's no such thing. And I'm like, I will find it.
I know. Look at me now, Mom. You said that our degree would never matter. I'm just kidding. My mommy loves me. She called me handsome once. Well, almost.
Well, it's got awkward. Okay. So
No, I'm just kidding, everybody. Jay Smith Didjarta says, every time I draw rifles, they always come out veiny.
I don't know if you're drawing a rifle there, bud.
You're probably not doing that one right. Just put a cup on it. Chief Andrew says, it's not work if you love it. That's very much true, man.
Oh, yeah.
Very much true. So, I don't know. What do you think of the Flash of Earth 11 thing, though, that's going on with the DC Pride? That's the only thing that I found questionable. I liked everything else they're doing, to be honest with you. Because they're not like, oh, hey, we're DC. We've always liked gay people. You know what I'm saying? Like every other year, they've been kind of like so boisterous about like trying to market it that you're like, that's a little untasteful, buddy. You know what I mean? But I love the covers that they're doing. But now they're doing this. Have you had a chance to look into that? The Flash?
I have not, actually.
So they're doing a Flash of Earth 11 is Barry. Well, people think it's Barry right now. It hasn't been confirmed. But it's essentially like the gay Flash. And I don't know, that to me, that one kind of feels a little snuck in. You know what I mean? But then again, I'm going off of like what people on Reddit and shit are saying. I don't know that anything's been confirmed until the books are in everybody's hands. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, they got that, what are they calling it? The Flash family, right?
So
the Wally West stuff.
Yeah, the Quick Kid is Jess
I think
Chambers.
that might be it. I think that might be it. Yeah. I think that might be it. That sounds familiar.
Okay. I do remember seeing the publication, or not the release on that. I didn't really care too much just because Flash has ruined Wally West for me.
Oh. I mean, either way, I guess it's
that they've drugged through the mud. It has been Wally West. Man, they finally they just completely killed him off, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, he never existed." And then they brought him back. Right as soon as they bring him back, they're like, "Okay, now let's turn him into the bad guy, and then he still has his super speed, but he's never going to use it because he's stuck in the Morbius chair."
So I'm all for like everybody having representation, and I think that DC is doing a good job at keeping it at that level. So I will take an official standpoint and saying like, hats off to you, DC. You're doing something right. But don't turn your back on Snyder Cut, because clearly that's what everybody likes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, again, 99% of the people that have watched it are all just like, damn it, this is a movie we should have had. You know what I mean? And they're excited about those characters again. Like, you see people that are like, oh man, I can't wait to watch the new Ben Affleck Batman movies. You know, and you're like, there's not going to be any. It's going to be Robert Pattinson. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, damn, DC, what are you doing?
But here's the thing. So the Justice League 2 was supposed to essentially take everything from the separate movies and kind of bring it back together. So one of the bigger things was playing off of the Scarecrow's interaction with Ben Affleck's Batman during The Batman, which was basically going to kind of be a live action version of Arkham Asylum.
Hold on 1 second here. Rose Kirby says, I need to ask a request. I need to be distracted on Friday and Saturday. Will we be able to do that? The anniversary of my mom's diagnosis for cancer happens on Friday the 26th. We won't be able to go live on the 26th, Rose. It's just too late for us to schedule anything out. But I don't know. I'm sure that our community can probably all get together and bombard Rose Kirby with badass comic movie ideas.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Maybe. Since that's just the topic we're on.
yeah.
Or something, Rose. So sorry to hear about that though. Andrew Dodge says going to try and watch Snyder cut after the stream tonight or tomorrow after work. It's long.
Yeah,
Like
it's
4 hours
4 hours.
long.
I'm gonna have some coffee ready, but it's good.
So now earlier in chat, somebody when I was talking about Thor and everything like that, somebody put like LOL, Thor was a PhD. Y'all, I have a hard time keeping up on current books, but you might want to Google what's going on with Donald Blake right now before you throwing out there how smart of a guy he is. So, little mini spoiler alert here. Thor is a bad guy right now in comics. He's not a good guy. He's a serial killer.
Is Thor still doing the whole last time I started reading the Thor, he was the Herald for Galactus?
Yeah, well, now he's actively Donald Blake, and Donald Blake is hunting down and murdering anyone who is able to currently wield or has wielded the power of Thor out of like narcissistic jealousy. He's a psychopath now.
Ah, come on.
Hey, what do you do?
I'll read it just so I could say, just so I can actually form an opinion. But yeah,
I mean, this is what happens when you let Donny Cates write something, and then Donny Cates has moved off of that project. A new writer comes in and goes, "How do I make it crazier than what Donny just did?" you know what I mean?
You don't make it crazy. You bring it back to basics.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the idea that it's supposed to be that Don Blake was always like a creation of Odin and stuff like that. I think it's kind of an interesting idea, but
well, that was already pre-established in the back in the 80s.
Well, yeah, but here's the one thing I do like is that Thor as Donald Blake is essentially what Thor would be without wielding the power of Thor.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Thor is the power and the character's name. But when the character goes without having that power, his name is Donald Blake.
Yeah.
Who is a doctor. However, he's not a doctor. He just poses as a doctor because he has Mjolnir giving him the power of Thor still, even though he's not using it actively as Thor, which is how they explain that somebody is, small-minded as Odin's son can pass off as being a doctor. You know what I mean? Using magic and stuff. But in the last comic, he did beat the crap out of Doctor Strange without the power of Thor.
Huh.
Which put a lot of arguments to rest for Marvel fanboys on the who is stronger. You know what I mean? Because, he clobbered the just crap out of him. And Doctor Strange still had his powers. And old Donnie Boy was just...
use them or something? I didn't read that issue.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to do anything too crazy, but Loki has a part in it, and Jane Foster has a big part in it. But Doctor Strange guys ass whoop. That's the way we say it on the streets.
Okay.
No. Andrew Judge says 4 hours and 2 minutes, according to the version that I found.
Yes, there is no after
right.
credit scene. Oh, spoiler alert. Don't wait for the credits to end. There's not going to be anything for
you. And JD Smith Didjarda says, I wish Donald Blake would kill off Foster.
I like Foster as a character, especially the whole chemo storyline. That was interesting.
That's Donny Cates, though, man.
I know.
Donny Cates just kills it.
Oh yeah. Well, at first it was wait a second. is he promoting like a new Justice League versus Avengers storyline? Because I'm all down for that in that first issue. Remember when he wrote that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would have been epic. But, it was just, on another world this happened. What? But yeah, he's. But I love what he did with Jane Foster. Yeah, I don't know what you would do as a writer following up Donny Cates other than, okay, let's get back to basics. Let's,
A lot of coffee.
Yeah, really.
Probably.
But I swear, like, it seems like art or writers, as soon as they are sent in to follow up a big name, they don't drink the coffee. They
Donny
have a little
Cates
acid.
Donny Cates was that follow-up writer, though.
Well, let's face
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he snuck on Daredevil, and then everybody was like, "What the hell's happening with Daredevil?"
Yeah.
And then Marvel's editors were like, "Okay, Donnie's like causing quite a stir. We keep putting him on all these other characters, and he's like messing everything up. Let's just let him do his own character." And they're like, "Well, who does nobody give a crap about right now?" And they're like, "Oh, Silver Surfer." Which, of course, people give a crap about Silver Surfer. But they put Donny Cates on Silver Surfer, and people don't realize this, but that is what Cosmic Ghost Rider came from.
Mm-hmm.
Was by putting Donny Cates on Silver Surfer. Because he literally just said, I think Silver Surfer's getting kind of played out. What if we gave the power of Galactus to the Punisher? But what if the Punisher went crazy and became Ghost Rider as well? But the Punisher can't kill a child, so let's strap baby Thanos to his chest and just have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, he woke up one day and thought of that. I want to get locked in an elevator with him for like 3 hours. You know what I mean? And just find out. Like, you know what I would love? I would love to ask him what he would do with different DC characters. Like, I think that would be insane. Like, I want to see Donnie pick up the Green Mantle for either Green Lantern and Lantern Corps.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because literally, there is no endless bounds to an imagination in those books with the
Agreed.
Corps. Or I would want to flip it completely 180 and have him do a Teen Robin book to where he is absolutely limited, where there's no superpowers, there's none of that stuff, and see what he could come up with. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that one. Maybe I think a Green Arrow book would be good for him.
Green Arrow could be pretty cool. Let me check it in chat here. Rose says, I don't know what to do. Talking about their mom's anniversary again. What would you do if you're in my position? I'm trying not to think of it. There's a quote that I'm reminded of. I'm just reading this. It goes something like, it's hard not to think of someone that gave you so much to remember. I think I got that quote right. I can't remember who said it. It just stands out to me. But sometimes not thinking of it might feel like the easiest thing for you to do, but it's not necessarily the healthiest thing. So, find some things that you enjoy. Maybe find some things that you enjoyed to do with your mom, and use that time frame, hopefully, as a chance to celebrate those memories, to make sure that you don't forget them.
Recently, I lost my sister. One of the things that actually helped me through that was getting with other people who knew her, and we would just tell stories of all the different our favorite stories of her that would just make you laugh.
No, that's beautiful. That's cool, man. Nobody's Illusion comes in to say, by the way, y'all are going on 1 hour 45 minutes now. Pretty soon you'll be half as long as the Snyder cut. Ooh, yeah, we're going to be wrapping it up here. Let me finish up chat and we'll wrap this up. Jay Smith Didyarda says, hey, does M. Scott do comic art? I see a workstation looking setup. What's the scoop? Fill him in.
I got some stuff in the system.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, CryptoComics Marketplace. Look up M. Scott Russell. Got a sketchbook. There's a few things going on. Homie could draw, yo.
Yeah, I'm not near fast enough to actually do a comic like the full thing. It takes me about 3 weeks to do a panel. So that's why I've been trying to talk Frey here into joining me on a comic. Everybody, pressure him for me.
No, don't do that. Frey's
Yes.
got a lot of work.
I know.
That's a problem.
I know.
Frey's got to get CryptoComics done.
I know.
Frey's
One
got
of
to
these
stay
days.
focused. Then you get the khakis. Then you get the chicks. All right. Well, with that, guys, let's go ahead and close this thing out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Make sure you go and sign up for CryptoComics Marketplace. Check out some of the free books that are on there to read right now. Check out some of the new updates that are coming this week. You're going to see quite a few of them. A lot of people that have been watching are going to recognize us or from us talking about a few of them. Nobody's Lucian says, wait, before you wrap up, I recommend The Sandman on Audible for Rose. That series is amazing. They're planning on narrating more issues soon. Great one, Lucian.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you guys have a chance, make sure you go over to twitch.tv, Ashley Massacre, and twitch.tv, Brodo, and give them a hard time for missing stream. The jerks. So, that being said, love you guys. Take care of each other. Love you, M. Scott Russell.
Love you too, man.
Matching hat buddies. Yay!
Yay!